Hi, so in this video I'm going to give a brief introduction into the concept of complementary goods. So just to get straight into it, these are goods which are used together, and it's sort of self-explanatory in the name that these are goods that are complements of each other, so we use them together, and we can describe this as these two goods having joint demand. Again, this term sort of covers what it itself actually means, but we demand these in a joint way. So if we're demanding one of the goods, we're going to tend to demand the other good. And as a result of this, we have this relationship here holding true, that if we increase the price of one good, we are going to decrease our demand for the other good. And the way I'll explain these concepts is with just an example. And there are loads of examples of complementary goods. We can have goods that are very strong complements and other goods that are weak complements of each other, but going into that sort of detail may be a topic for a future video. This is just a very brief introduction. But in this video we can consider the example of tennis rackets and tennis balls, and these goods are going to be very strong complements for each other because we can't really consume one of them without the other. So while they are separate goods and they have separate markets for each other, we may actually think of ourselves as needing to usually buy a package of these goods. So let's consider that we are in the market for playing tennis, and we're looking to start playing tennis, and the price of tennis rackets increases. Well, our demand, and the demand in general for tennis rackets, is going to decrease because tennis rackets are more expensive, the price has increased, so fewer people are going to be demanding tennis rackets. This is going to decrease. And as a result of this, the market for tennis balls itself hasn't changed at all. The price for tennis balls, I should say, has not changed, but our demand for tennis balls is going to decrease anyway, purely as a result of our demand for tennis rackets decreasing. If we have fewer people buying tennis rackets, there are fewer people playing tennis, and so they are going to be demanding fewer tennis balls. And this is our idea of complementary goods, where the price of one changing is going to directly affect the demand for the other, and these two goods, the demand for these goods is going to move in tandem with each other, or if the demand for one increases, the other one is going to have an increased demand as well, and vice versa, as we saw in this example. So loads of examples. We could have, say, an Xbox console and an Xbox controller, or we can have an Xbox console and Xbox games. We could have a laptop and a Bluetooth mouse. We can have phones and speakers. Those were sort of technologically based examples, but again, just goods that are consumed together, and so their demand moves in tandem. So that will wrap up this introduction on complementary goods. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you did find it at all useful. Check out the playlist for future videos on introductory economic concepts, and do subscribe to add some econ to your subscription feed.